welcome to my second ever radio show. Hi, KCIW listeners at 100.7 Brookings, Oregon. Welcome to Joyously Free. That's with me, none better than Joanie Lindenmeyer. I'm a vibrant, joy-filled, great communicator, a title given to me by Emily. This show is for a wide range of listeners and encompasses joy in every topic of LGBTQ+, church, religion, faith, and spirituality. In the queer world, this show is also called the Gadio Show. Thanks, Viv and Will, for naming it that. And thank you, listeners, for tuning in. So the purpose of our show is to share and spread joy and freedom. Hence the title, Joyously Free. It is also the title of my second book that I co-authored with Elizabeth Atkins of twosisterswriting.com. And we are proud to boast 32 contributing writers, many local from Brookings, Gold Beach, and Crescent City, and who will be some of our radio guests. You will get to hear their versions of living their truth. The other guests I will have will also be sharing their version of living their truth, joyously free, and maybe on some days, not so joyous. But anyways, this is what we believe, that God or Jesus or whatever name, higher power you may give, is always with us. So do not be troubled. Do not be afraid or saddened. Joy and peace are an internal expression of love and harmony that is already within us, and we only have to reach deep within, in, and let it out. All is well with my soul. Remember that we will not have any hate speech, no hate behaviors, and no bullying, because we blast this show with 3 C's: courage, confidence, and collaboration. And hopefully you'll see that from and hear that from our guest speakers. So welcome to the greatest talk show ever. Let us begin first with a prayer, because that's who I am. Of course, as a former nun, I always pray first. We'll have a little scripture, a little Joanie's nuggets. Then we're going to jump into an incredible guest speaker today who's sitting behind this plexiglass with me right now. Her first name is Lisa, and pretty soon you'll be hearing from her. So as we get started, let's center ourselves. Maybe you want to close your eyes. Breathe in the good. Breathe out the doubt. Breathe in thankfulness. Breathe out fear. One more time. Let's breathe in joy, and let's breathe out hate. I picked a scripture from my daily reading this morning from my Living and Give Us This Day prayer book. It's from St. Paul to the Colossians. Brothers and sisters, put on, as God's chosen ones, holy and beloved, heartfelt compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience, hearing with one another and forgiving one another. You know, when I first read that today, I thought, put on love, put on heartfelt compassion. I thought, how do I do that? When I get dressed in the morning, when I go to put my sweatshirt on or my t-shirt or anything that I'll be wearing for the day, what am I really putting on? Is it something visible that people can see? Is it a smile on my face? Is it a twinkle in my eyes? Do people actually see me as somebody kind and gentle? I sure hope so, because that's what I feel on the inside. But every day I am reminded to put on that love, to put on that compassion. And I hope you get to do the same. So wherever you are right now, see what you can put on your face, a happy smile or a loving heart. So with that, it is so exciting to introduce you to our speaker today. Her name is Lisa Neher, and I am so excited to have her here. I first met Lisa, would you believe, at a Pride celebration in Brookings, Oregon. And from there, we've just sort of grown in friendship, and I just have admired her art, for one thing, and then just her tenacity. She was once involved in the corporate world, and now here she is in Brookings, giving her heart and soul to the community in so many ways. So welcome, Lisa, to our show, Joyously Free.
Thank you, Joanie.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Yes. So how's your day going today?
A little chaotic, but that's typical for my days.
Okay. Well, I bet you many listeners as well as myself can relate to that.
Yeah.
You know, and what makes it chaotic for you?
Well, between trying to run things in my studio, having regular clients there, and then also running the Democrats' office and people in and out of there and always something happening. And the current political climate,
Okay.
things stay chaotic on a regular basis.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. You know, and it's ever changing. I'm 67 years old, and I have seen a tumult, a roller coaster of everything from political to church to environment to hate to love to all of those things. But before we jump into a lot of the details of what you just are experiencing today, can you tell us a little bit about you? You.
Okay. I grew up on the East Coast, right outside of D.C.,
Okay.
and I was raised a Southern Baptist, which I'm still recovering from. When I was 27, I decided I couldn't stand the East Coast anymore between the weather, the angry people, the bugs. So I just packed up my cat and my stereo and took off.
Wow. What an adventurous person you are.
Well, I had been a bartender, and in D.C., people come and go constantly. So I'd made a lot of friends from all over the country.
Okay.
So I started visiting them along my way. I was determined to get to California. For some reason, I just felt called there.
Wow.
But my car decided to die in Ely, Nevada, which it's a population of 5,000 and 3,000 of which are in the penitentiary on the top of the hill overlooking the town. And I got stuck there for about 2 weeks until my friends in Reno came and saved me and towed me back to Reno. And then I got a job in running a radio station for a while.
You did? And where was that?
In Reno.
Okay.
And I got to meet Henry Rollins and Depeche Mode, and it was really cool.
Wow.
But the dust there was really killing my sinuses, so I called some friends in San Francisco and ended up moving out there with them. Spent 16 years there, found my people.
Okay. Okay.
And then
Did you have a career there or a job there? Or...
I had many jobs there. My last job was working for an evil empire called Wells Fargo Bank.
And why would you say evil empire?
Because they're evil.
Is that the corporate world? I'm not really super familiar with the corporate world.
The corporate world in a large corporation like that is very evil.
Wow, that's interesting. Because I know my uncle worked for Wells Fargo. He was the manager of a bank in San Diego. And it was always a joy to go see him. And everybody, all his staff, just loved him.
I worked in headquarters, and I was 3 tiers down from the CEO. And
you were 3 tiers down from the CEO?
yes.
Man, you are
He knew my first name. But I was a project manager in the ATM advertising department, so I dealt with all the banks.
Wow. Okay. So you've always been a leader.
I guess kind of de facto. I end up even when I play games, I always end up the leader.
See,
I don't know why.
Well, and to be a bartender, back when you were talking about that, you know, bartenders are leaders. They read people so well, and I know you do.
Yeah, I've had a lot of practice with that. I don't know how I keep ending up leading things, but I do. I don't deliberately go out to do it.
Just exudes right out of you.
I guess.
So was there any joyfulness that you had when you lived in San Francisco?
Yes, my friends and my pagan community and
Oh, okay.
the art scene and the food scene. We had a supper club where we'd tour restaurants by country alphabetically, and we ran it for like 5 years. And we never ran out of a new country to do for each letter.
Oh my gosh.
It was so incredibly cool. We got to taste a lot of really interesting food, and it's like the culinary capital of the country, so
Yes.
that was really fun.
Yeah, that's definitely joyful, huh?
Yes.
And food does that. Do you have any particular ones that stand out or in your memory box?
Too many to name. The Cajun ones were my favorite, I think.
Oh, so you like spicy?
Not necessarily, but Cajun spices are okay.
Okay. Well, and I know that I met you recently at a memorial. In fact, we'll just give a couple insights to heaven for Jan Hanault, who passed away. We had a great memorial service thanks to the Dems and the LGBTQ community this last week. And the food spread, let alone, was just incredible. And you brought some pulled pork that was just out of this world. So
Boyfriend made that, but I made a lot of the sweets, and I do pride myself on my cooking.
there you go.
We do that for Art Walk at the Dems office constantly.
Ah, nice. So let's go back to San Francisco then. You mentioned they're your people. What does that mean?
Open-minded, happy people, as opposed to the uptight, angry people on the East Coast.
Oh, okay. All right.
Have you ever lived on the East Coast?
I never have. I have visited. I have traveled there.
It's different when you live there.
Okay. Okay.
Backstabbing, lots of backstabbing.
Wow. Wow. And Carol and I did not experience that at all when we were in New York City or Atlantic City or in Florida or
You have to
Delaware.
live there.
Yeah, I guess so. And if you're talking joyful stuff, in my book, None Better, there's two wonderful scenarios of Carol and scenes of us. One was on the subway. We had never been on a subway at all.
In New York?
In New York.
In New York was your first one?
Very first one.
Oh, boy.
Very first one. And so here we are on the subway, and it was an express subway, which everybody said, oh, good, I'm glad you're on that one. That's going to get to your destination way, way faster. And we're like, perfect. Well, we got on, and there was no place to sit.
Never.
And so she grabbed onto the tall bar, and the next thing I know, that thing just took off like a shot. And she literally went around the circle hanging on. It was the best subway pole dance I'd ever seen,
Wow.
And everybody was just cracking up, And then and I said to everybody sitting around, I said, yeah, we've never been here before. And it was like a chorus of these people on the subway. We know. But they were all so helpful after that.
Yeah.
Incredible. And don't you think sometimes, though, that we can bring out that joy in other people? Because you sure do.
I try.
Yes. Not every day, maybe, but at least half of the time.
Try to keep things positive.
Yes, absolutely.
It's the best way to face anything.
Yes. And you've learned that through life?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Any particular examples coming to mind of how that happens for you?
On a daily basis, or how it happened in general?
In the past or in general? Yeah.
Overcoming a dysfunctional family you either go one way or the other.
Oh, okay.
You either go very sad and depressed for the rest of your life, or you go, I'm facing the world with a smile. And that's the way I chose to go.
Oh, my gosh. That's like putting on love right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and you started off by talking about you today, the adventurous spirit of leaving your area, your home, and that tell you, that speaks volumes.
Running, screaming.
And you had that option to leave then, didn't you? Because you made that option happen for you.
I had to save up for a while, but yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But having landing spots all across the country helped. Because I like making friends, as you can tell.
Absolutely. You can probably talk to a stick too, Lisa.
I talk to trees all the time.
There's some big ones around here.
Yeah, I got a redwood in my front yard. I love it.
Oh, nice. Nice. So how long have you been here in Brookings?
Since 2016.
2016. Wow.
And I was recovering from carbon monoxide when I got here. But boy, this air really cleared out my head.
Yes. And that's a joyful thing that sometimes we take for granted around here.
Yeah.
The fresh air.
Fresh air and beautiful nature and listening to the waves at night.
What else?
What else did I love about being here?
Yes.
A lot of the people I've met. It took me a while to find the people that I would call my people. But once I found them, I was in the middle of a network that isn't very obvious on the surface of coming to this town. But yeah, it's easy to plug into if you know where to look.
And I think that's a difficulty for many people. They don't know where to look to find their people, and whatever that means. I'm one of those people that I like all people. And so I groove with a certain kind of people, I guess. As a lesbian, definitely the LGBTQ community is very attractive to me. But I have so many allies that are not LGBTQ, but are so special and precious in my life. And I value them just as much as I do my blood family,
With me, plugging in started with finding an apothecary in a tiny little beach town.
Okay. Tell me more about that.
I was blown away that there was a witchy witch shop in the middle of this tiny little Republican town. But I met a lot of friends there, and I love and adore Shell, and it's expanded from there, and that got me hooked onto the Dems, and then the LGBTQ with LaRose and Calla when they were here. So I got into that, and getting to be good friends with Jan, who we recently lost. Right. And it just keeps expanding.
Exactly. Yeah. And hopefully you're inviting other people to be in your group, your team, your family as well.
Always.
See, isn't that a good point? Because oftentimes people in our little community here, they become more cliquish because they've been here for so long that they don't really want anybody to be a part of their, whatever that may be, their church, their groups, their politics, their
art walks,
pickleball,
craft shows.
Yes.
I'm always encouraging people to come to things.
Right, right. And your artwork alone, oh my God. Talk to me about your artwork. Have you always been an artist?
Since the time I could hold a crown.
Wow.
And I think by the time I was 5, I was melting my crowns into candles.
Oh my gosh. And did that come from parents, or where did it come from? You had to learn it somewhere, right?
Well, for some reason as a child, I thought God was really stupid for inventing humans because all we've done ever is destroy this planet. And so my friends were trees until I was a teenager. And I was very introverted, despite having a little sister that followed me everywhere. And art was just like a place for me, that didn't involve my dysfunctional family. And I was alone there, and I was happy, and I was creating. And that expanded, almost all forms of art. I got into fabric really late, and I've never really gotten like knitting, crocheting, but clay, drawing, painting. I love paint. And now epoxy, and just anything I can craft with my hands makes me happy. And then I got into food too. My grandmother did that.
Nice, nice. So where can people see your works of art?
Craft shows or the art walk at the Democrat's office.
There you go. And hours are every day that you can show you off your goodies?
No. Art walk is second Saturday art walk in Brookings. Everybody knows about it.
Right.
3 to 6.
But not everybody, because people need to be reminded of it.
Yes, 3 to 6 every second Saturday.
Every second Saturday from 3 to 6.
And if you're part of the Regressives Brunch, which is also associated with this, it's just a couple hours later.
There you go. There you go. Perfect. So you mentioned art on fabric. I recently saw something you did on a curtain.
Big rainbow.
Oh my gosh. It was the most beautiful rainbow. And was it a cloud or was it a bird?
Bird.
It was a bird. Oh my gosh. It was so vibrant and so beautiful. Oh my gosh. You just have a way with colors.
Thank you.
Yes, you do.
I do hand-painted canvas bags that are almost always rainbow colors because the rainbow makes me happy. It's bright and beautiful and colorful.
That's wonderful. And it reminds me of, there was a song, "A rainbow makes a promise that life is here to share." Have you ever heard that song?
No, I've only heard...
God, that's one of my favorite songs.
I've only heard Dorothy singing about Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
That's a good one, too. That's a good one, too. And listeners out there, you may be thinking, hey, what rainbow songs do you know? You never know.
I'd like to hear more.
You bet. And you were talking about art. Do you do sculpture?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about some of your sculpture.
Clay, though. I usually start with like a paper mache base and then get all detailed with the clay.
Ooh. Okay.
But I don't have a kiln, so no pottery.
Okay. But I bet you there's someone in town or there's somewhere that there is a kiln. That's not quite up my alley.
I have a friend in Gold Beach that has one. But...
Okay. That's awesome. Okay. And so you mentioned paint, fabric, sculpture, and then
jewelry.
Oh, jewelry too?
Sun catchers, costume designs, costume accessories. I do lots of stuff for the Pirate Festival.
Nice.
But that's how I get most of my regular clients because those costumes get torn a lot. And I'm also good friends with the theater people and I'm trying to get in there on the costume angle, but we'll see.
Do you sew as well?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So you never know. Somebody might be listening right now thinking, oh my gosh, we have a school function or a church function or something, and they may need somebody to go ahead and sew some costumes together or put them together.
Yeah.
You're willing to do that?
Yeah.
Holy mollies. You hear that, everybody? We've got Lisa sitting right here. And Lisa, how do they get a hold of you?
That's a good question.
You know what? They can do it through KCIW.
Okay.
And you can do that through me too. You can get a hold of me on Facebook or TikTok or the KCIW studio, and then I'll get the information to Lisa if that's something that grabs your fancy.
I do have a studio right behind the Democrat's office, but I don't keep regular hours. Okay. And I also repair jewelry.
And you repair jewelry.
Like
nice.
I've got a whole big box of rhinestones and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Wow. Well, I keep learning more and more about you. This is what's cool about our community is when you actually sit down and talk with somebody, have a smile on my face. You see the smile on their face. You see Lisa's eyes are just twinkling right now, and so you get to know somebody and just ask them some questions that are about life, which is fun. And
we've known each other for years and never even touched some of these subjects.
I know it. Isn't that the truth? And it happens with many, many friends. You think you know somebody, but you really don't really know more about them.
Until you interview them.
or actually sit down and just have a decent conversation with no interruptions, no cell phones, no TVs, no other people. It makes such a difference.
Yeah.
And I think that was part of the scripture reading I read today. It talked about compassion and gentle. And every time I have seen you with somebody, you are always compassionate and gentle. Where does that come from?
I've been told I'm an empath, whatever that might mean. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I immediately start relating to people, especially when they're in distress. Mm-hmm. And I can't not help them,
Wow.
And I've lived quite a bit of hard roads in my lifetime, so I can relate to a lot of different situations that people bring to me.
So you understand them. You're empathetic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that is such a gift. That is such a gift. I think the more we listen to each other, the more we really know more about ourselves as we're listening to somebody else.
And the world.
Absolutely. And aren't we all connected?
Oh, yeah.
We may not have the same faith, the same religion, the same sexual identity or sexual orientation, but you know what? We are all connected.
You can be in the web in life and not be part of the Borg.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. I talked to a friend today, and her dog took off. And so she was just scared. She couldn't find her dog. And after, I think she said 7 hours, they were reunited.
Oh, that's good.
But again, it's that connection of when you're losing something or missing something, to be able to go find that individual, find that dog, find that fresh air, find that friend, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. So what else is on your mind and heart today? You mentioned you were a little chaotic. Is there anything you want to talk about related to that?
Not that would keep things positive and joyous.
Yeah. And isn't that the truth? Sometimes we just don't have joy in a day. Yeah. And then how do you deal with that?
Stop reading the news.
That's one good thing.
And dive right back into my painting. Mm-hmm. That's my happy place.
Find your happy place. Oh, there's a big tip right there. Find your happy place.
And whenever you feel upset, you just go to that happy place.
Yes.
And for me, it's painting in my studio with nobody there bothering me.
Wow. That's so cool. Oh. And I like my time too. And in terms of my time, I'll sit and play my guitar. I'll sit and read. I'll go out in the garden. I'll go for a walk on the beach by myself. My best friend, myself. And that is
that's important.
And then that's what I'm hearing from you as well. You're having time with your best self.
Yeah.
And that is absolutely joyful.
Everybody needs some their time, definitely. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you also spend time writing books, I hear.
I do. Yes. And I know that you've been a great promoter of that. And yes, 3 books in 2 years, if you can believe that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, None Better, my first one, and that became the Amazon ebook bestseller, number 24, 4 months in a row, which still blows me away.
And I believe I promised to have a party for that one.
Yes, you did. Yeah, the audiobook will be coming very soon. It's right now in the process of being approved and accepted for the audiobook.
Yay.
And, yes. And
I can listen to that while I'm painting.
There you go. Exactly. and I'm the one who's reading it, which is I'm the narrator. Awesome. So you will find my own voice change and my tears and the times where I was super, super sad and the times where I was super, super joy. You'll hear that all in that book.
Right.
And of course, it'll be in the library system here. And and my books are locally here too. I don't know if you know that.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So they're at the library. They're at Forecastle Books and in Crescent City. They're at Del Norte office. They're at the library down there. And then if you go up to Port Orford, it's in the Port Orford Library. Nice. It's also at Seawolf Bookstore in Port Orford. And so I like to have it in different places available as books.
Kissing Fish Books?
Where is that one?
I think it's in Port Orford.
Oh, I don't know. Okay, I just know Seawolf. Huh, okay. All right, I'll check it out. Well, and it's on Barnes & Noble and Amazon and all those kind of things, But have you ever written a book?
No.
You would have a story to put to the moon.
Where would I even start, though?
I don't know. That's what I could help you with, or my publisher could help you with. And that's exactly right, everybody. If you're listening, you're going, yeah, I'd like to write a book. Well, get a hold of me, and I can lead you to some people that can help you do that. And it just starts with an outline. And how do you develop the outline? You know how I did it? With pictures. I pulled out pictures and albums and opened up my phone and said, oh my gosh, that's a story. That's something to write about. and or it creates the creative energies like you do when you're doing your drawings and your pictures and all your artwork. You know, it'll just flow once something triggers it.
Make it therapeutic, too.
Very much so. Very much so. Absolutely.
That could come in handy.
That could come in handy. Yes, we all need therapy, don't we?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Wish we had more of it in this town.
Well, and maybe that's what's going to happen. You know, if a lot of us just keep talking it out and putting the vibes out there and spreading the good news and the news of what we would like to have in our town, then we can make it happen.
We'll just draw it in.
Yep, we have to talk about it. We have to talk about it. For sure. That's why the 3 C's: courage, confidence, and collaboration. So the more that we can become courageous, inspire other people to be courageous, be more confident. You sound like you're a very confident artist. You're confident in talking and listening to people.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I live up to all 3 of those C's.
Yep. Yep.
And compassion on top of that. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. We'll make it the 4 C's
4
now.
C's, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Compassion's going to be desperately needed in the near future.
Yes. Yes. Yep. For sure. For sure. Oh, this has been a wonderful conversation so far. Oh,
we always have wonderful conversations.
Yes. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Well, we are winding down. We've got about another minute or so to go. Is there anything else that you would like to put out there to our community? Any joyful news you want to talk about?
Nothing that pops into my head.
Okay, let's see if we can do a quick little summary of some of the great things you've said today.
Okay.
Okay, you go first. What was one golden nugget you said that you can feel in your heart?
That everybody should be compassionate.
There you go. I'm going to say put on love. Everybody puts on love, just like Lisa. Your turn. What's another one?
I don't know.
You don't know? I know. It's hard to remember, isn't it?
My brain goes empty when you put me on the spot.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. You know, and what I remember is talking about finding your happy place.
Yes.
And I think that's really, really crucial. And so I'm going to recommend everybody to find your happy place somewhere today. Find it somewhere today. And so maybe that is, and if it's okay with you, let's just close our eyes one more time. And let's just breathe in goodness and breathe out fear. Breathe in joyfulness and breathe out worry. And all that we can do in saying thank you to KCIW 100.7 FM, Brookings, Oregon. Thank you for having Lisa here and me. Have a beautiful day, everybody, and put your smile on your face. Take care now.